Welcome everybody. I want to thank you for watching Off My Rocker. I'm Mike Turner, and today we're going to talk about beginner tips and tricks for turkey hunting. Now our first topic is you really got to know your target. So I've got an example of a tom turkey here. He's got a beard, big red head. Usually these birds are much larger than the hens. And then over here we have a hen, blue head, much smaller. The feathers are a lot browner. You notice how he's really got black and iridescent feathers, whereas she's a lot browner and a lot smaller. The toms have big old spurs on their legs, whereas the hens, maybe little nubs. Now as a beginner, you're probably wondering, where do I find turkeys to hunt? So I started out on public ground. I talked to every conservation agent I could find. I read literature that the conservation department put out. I basically talked to everybody I could about turkey hunting. Today you can join Facebook groups that are dedicated towards turkey hunting. But the number one thing is, once you find a place that you can go hunt, put boots on the ground. Go look for turkey feathers, go look for actual turkeys, look for turkey tracks, look for turkey scat. Just look for anything that looks like a turkey left it there, and you'll start finding places to hunt. All right, so you found your place to hunt. Now you got to decide what kind of weapon you're going to use. Most turkey hunters use a 12 gauge shotgun. And today, after all the COVID and everything, shells are a little hard to find. But once you find a shotgun to use, make sure you get the right ammo for it, because not every shotgun will shoot every shotgun shell. For instance, this is my go-to turkey gun. You notice it's short. Has a really good strap, because a lot of times you're just schlepping around, going from place to place to place, calling birds, trying to get one to come in. It does have a very, very tight choke in the end of it here. Now this gun is a little older. It will shoot magnum rounds, but it'll only shoot 2 3/4 and 3-inch magnum rounds. Whereas some shotguns can't shoot magnum rounds. So if you have a question, you're going to use Grandpa's shotgun, consult a qualified gunsmith and make sure that your gun can handle the shells you're going to put in it. So like this gun here will shoot 2 3/4, it'll shoot 3-inch, and it'll shoot 3.5-inch shells. It's not camoed. I like all my turkey hunting gear to be camoed, but I could use this gun. All right, so you got your place to hunt, now you got your weapon, you got your shells. Before you go in the field, you have to pattern your gun. You have to, because otherwise you're going to be very disappointed if you get a shot. So you can use targets like this that show where all the pellets hit. Doesn't have to be fancy, doesn't have to take a lot of money. This particular target was designed off of an x-ray of a turkey's head. It's kind of funny. It was put out by DNR of Minnesota, but the Missouri Department of Conservation published this. So they must work together. But it's a great target to practice. Do a little bit of patterning of your shotgun so you know exactly what your effective range is before you go hunting. All right, the next item I want to cover is, where do you really want to aim to kill a turkey, especially with a shotgun? So most people would think that you aim for the head, but if you actually watch a turkey walk, their head goes like this. Right here where the neck attaches to the body stays pretty constant. So you have a smaller margin of error if you aim down the neck closer to the body, not in the body. You don't want to shoot into the body and ruin the meat, but you want to shoot a little further down the neck. You'll get more turkeys and miss less. All right, you guys, let's cover a little bit on camo. I recommend that you be camoed out from head to toe. And you don't have to break the bank on your camo. I wear pants from Wally World. They don't match my shirt. I wear gloves and a complete face mask. I was sitting in the turkey woods one time and I blinked my eyes and a turkey at 20 yards saw it and started running off. Thank God I patterned my gun. I got him, but just the blink of an eye will set them off. So you want to be as camoed as possible. Just remember, camo is king. Don't break the bank on your camo. Just make sure you got camo head to toe. Okay, so the next thing we're going to cover is calls. There's a lot of calls on the market. These are mouth calls. They got a little diaphragm. You put them in your mouth and you try to make turkey calls. I sound like a sick dog. I think they're really tough for beginners. So I'm going to show you some other options. This is a super simple call. It's just a push button. It's got a little slate with a spring on it, and it makes good enough sounds that you can call turkeys in with these. This next one is a box call. That one kills a lot of turkeys right there. And last but not least is a slate call. Now this particular one's made by a good friend of mine, Mike Fowler, Buffalo Creek Calls. Makes an excellent call. I've killed a lot of turkeys with this particular call. I'll put a link into his Facebook page if you want to get one of Mike's calls. Now, to be really honest, you don't even need a turkey call to kill a turkey, but if you want to call them in, that's the best way to do it. So our next section is kind of a combination of what I carry into the woods when I'm chasing turkeys. And to be honest, this little foam hen decoy has helped me kill a lot of turkeys. I just recently switched to one with a little more definition. I don't know if it's going to be better, but I'm going to try it. I always take a little piece of lightweight camo material to help me hide when I'm out in the woods turkey hunting, because their eyes are so keen, you guys. They're so keen. Let's see, what else do I have here? Oh, okay. This is pretty unusual. Not a lot of people do it, but I crawl around a lot. I use terrain. I sneak in on turkeys. Sometimes I don't even call them. I just see them and I use the terrain and I get in on them. So I always have some knee pads with me in case I got to crawl through a lot of nasty stuff. That's pretty much it. I got some calls in here. This turkey vest does have a nice cushion. Turkey hunting in the spring can be pretty wet, and you really don't want to sit on wet ground and then get cold. So I recommend that even if you use like a backpack, have yourself a little thermal seat to sit on so that you don't get all wet. Now, one thing that most turkey hunters don't include when they're heading to the field is a good set of binoculars and some sort of a harness system to keep them up here out of the way. Because like I said, half the time I'm crawling up to a bird to get a shot. So I don't mind doing a sneak on one. I love calling them in, but you got to see the bird before he sees you, and they have phenomenal eyesight. So a good set of binoculars is always with me when I'm out turkey hunting. So here's something that turkey hunters don't talk about a lot, is there are predators in their area. If you get too many coyotes or too many bobcats, your turkey population is going to suffer for it. So me personally, in the areas that I hunt, when it's season and when it's allowed, I try to take out as many predators as I can. That helps my turkey populations. Hey, you guys, the last tip I got for you is just get out and do it. There's no substitute for time in the field. So happy hunting, and if you like this kind of content, hit that like and that subscribe button for me. It helps my channel a lot, and I will see you on the next adventure.
Get off of me. Get off of me. Hey, get off of me.